Greetings fellow 50p coin collectors, Coin Snatcher here, and today we're going to have a look at the most important coin that pops up in people's collections. It's the 2009 Kew Gardens coin. Pick up this coin on eBay. They go generally for around £140, sometimes less, sometimes more, available in a range of different finishes. But I wanted to drill that down today on the figures for this coin. There's a sort of conception out there that the Kew Gardens coin is a rare coin, and in terms of UK circulating coins, it certainly is. It's worth noting that compared to Isle of Man coins, the mintage is quite high, but that's a story for another day. So here we have the coin in front of us. This is my particular example. This one you'll see has a little chip out of it, so I wouldn't call it, well, you could call it a mint error I guess, but there's a little bit missing from it, so it's not a perfect bank coin. Has been in circulation. Is it an error coin? Possibly not. Is it post-mint damage? Possibly is. I've had a good look at it under the microscope and I can't tell either way. The obverse of the coin is very clean. It's just that little mark on the reverse that lets it down a bit. So the designer of the pagoda, the Chinese pagoda, which features in Kew Gardens, was Christopher Lebrun, and the obverse designer was Ian Rank Broadley. So very popular name there when it comes to the obverses. Obviously issued in 2009 to commemorate 250 years of the Kew Garden pagoda. Now it's worth noting just before we go on that in 2008 there was 26,247,050 50p's issued. So it's possible that that is part of the reason why in 2009 there wasn't as many 50p's issued, and in fact I think the order originally was for quite a few more coins than 210,000, which was the number that eventually went into circulation. So if you're on eBay and you're hunting for one of these coins, in terms of UK circulating mintage figures, 210,000 is a very low figure. Only superseded recently by the 2023 Salmon. It's a Shield 50p. Well, I say it's a Shield, it replaced the Shield 50p, and there was only 200,000 of those. So 210,000 of these in circulation. That's quite a few. I do wonder if there's 210,000 collectors in the UK or worldwide that actually collect 50p's. But whatever way you look at it, it's held its value well since, I think the mintage figure was released in 2008, and I think from 2008 the value of this coin exploded quite highly. And you do hear obviously of people spending these at McDonald's and various sorts of places, and then a couple of years later they find out the value of the coin has soared. So we have 210,000 circulating coins, but that's not the end of the story, because the coin was also produced in brilliant uncirculated format. Now I've done a bit of digging here on the figures, so you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on anything. I'm always happy to be corrected as ever. But the bank figure that I can find is 128,364 coins. Now that was split over the year set, which came with all the other coins for the year. It was also included in a baby set, and it was also included on first day covers. First day covers are the ones that come in the envelopes with the stamps on it. Now the year set had a 230,000 maximum mintage. The baby set had a 50,000 maximum mintage, and the first day cover had a 20,000 maximum mintage. So the actual maximum bank mintage was 300,000, but they only ended up making 128,364. Now after the bank one, the next one up that we would look at would be the base metal proof set. So there was 35,257 of the sets issued, and there was also 1,039 base metal proof coins issued as part of the 40th anniversary set, which was issued in 2009 as well. So quite a few thousand coins there. The next one up would be the silver proof coin. Now again, you could buy that either as a single, you could buy it as part of a set, or you could buy it as part of the 40th anniversary edition set. The 40th anniversary set had 16 coins in it, and of course the Kew was one of those. So if we have a look at the silver proof, there was 7,575 of those issued. On the silver proof set, there was 2,749 issued. And for the 40th anniversary 16 coin set, there was 1,168 issued. So quite a few silver proofs out there, nearly 10,000, more than 10,000 in fact. The next one we would have would be the silver proof PA4 set, or Pideford set, depending what way you pronounce it. There was 2,967 issued as single proof coins in the little black boxes, and there was 2,500 silver proof PA4 sets authorized, but I couldn't find any data on how many of those were actually sold. So we'll give it the benefit of the doubt and we'll say that there was 2,500 sold. Now there was also a gold Kew Gardens issued in 2009, and 629 of those were sold. And there was also a gold PA4 that was issued. Now that was issued as part of the 16 coin anniversary edition. It was very, very limited. There was only 40 of those issued. But if we take all those individual figures for all the Kews that have been struck, regardless of the striking quality, we're looking around 392,288 coins. So depending on the budget, there's one out there for everybody. What's unique about this coin? Apart from the circulating mintage figures, it's a reasonable design. It's nothing overly fancy. It's a nice depiction of the pagoda. We can see the various leaves, etc. on it. We can see the pagoda, the dates on it, and on the obverse side of the coin, it's worth noting that there is no date. You have the normal sort of script. If I just pop this over, so there's the obverse of that coin. This is a nice looking coin on the obverse, but Elizabeth II, DG, Dea Gracia, Regina, Fider, Defensor, 50p, and we have the IRB initials underneath the scalloped edge of the Queen's neck. Very nice coin. I have nothing against the Kew Gardens 50p coin, but I do find it quite amusing that with over 392,000 issued, the coin is still the most popular 50p there is in terms of collecting. As I said earlier, I am slightly biased, as you probably all know, towards the Isle of Man 50p's. Now, the coin sort of trundled along from 2009, and then in 2019 we celebrated the 50th anniversary of the 50p, and as a result of that, they decided to reissue the Kew Gardens 50p because they're not dumb at the Royal Mint, they know what they're doing. So we have the 2019 reissue coin. Now, just in the order of fairness, I thought I would give the mintage figures for this one as well. So obviously for circulation they didn't produce any of these coins. It was sets only, really produced for the collector market. In brilliant uncirculated format, there was 84,681 issued, and that was across a couple of different various packs. There was a proof set that was made available. 3,500 was the maximum issue number on that. I couldn't ascertain exactly how many were sold, but again, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt and say 3,500. And then there was the silver proof set as well, of which they only issued 1,969. Again, no figures as to whether they sold the full amount, but we'll say that they did. And then finally, there was a gold edition as well, of which they issued 75. Gives a total of 90,225 coins for the 29 reissue. So 392,000 on the 2009, 90,000 on the 2019, which by my reckoning gives us 480,500 if you include the odds as well. So there we go. That is the 2009 and the 2019 reissue of the Kew Gardens 50p, the most popular 50p that UK collectors collect. I would recommend to anybody, if you're on eBay and you're looking at buying one of these coins, check it out very, very carefully, because there's a lot of fake coins about. Now, I think to go into the detail on the fakes would be a whole video in itself. I'm more than happy to do that at some point, but do not buy a Kew Gardens 50p without doing your research first. And the best place to go to find out about the fake Kew Gardens coins would be the Change Checker website. They have a whole section on it. So I hope you find that interesting. We've got lots of lovely figures there, a little bit of information about the design. Bear in mind too, if you do get one of these 2019 coins, it's dated on the obverse of the coin, so it'll say 2019. So don't fall into the trap of buying a 2019 coin expecting it to be a 2009 coin. Do your research. Nobody wants to spend £140 on a coin and get the wrong one. It's probably worth noting as well that the 2019 coins, I think, hover around the £70 mark, so they're half the price of the 2009 coin. Apart from that, have a look at some of my other videos and you can see all the other UK 50p's. In fact, when we go through, it starts and we have 4 trays nearly full of UK 50p coins, so we're coming up to about 130 coins roughly if you're into collecting 50p pieces. But been a pleasure to do this video. It makes a difference to do a more in-depth video on a UK 50p than I normally do. I hope you find it informative as ever. If there's any questions, any comments, any discrepancy over the figures, leave a message below. But for this video for now, that's it from me. Peace and love. Coin Snatcher out.